Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the show tonight. We have an interview, and I've got with me Emily and Ackley from Kane, Pennsylvania. And she's been going through the same thing as the rest of us. And um, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you?
I've been better.
I can understand. So, how is it up there in Pennsylvania?
Horrible.
Is it cold?
No, it's been raining a lot.
Yeah, it's been raining here in Atlanta a lot too. So, you are targeted.
Yes.
Remote neural monitoring.
Yes.
Same as me. Same as a lot of the viewers here watching too. So we talked before. I understand you got the full blown targeting with the artificial telepathy. Do, do they follow you around?
Yes, everywhere I go. That's how I found out. That's how I caught them. That's how I found out I was being hurt. Like, I thought the things I heard, I thought I was losing it. I thought there was creepers, like, peeping in my windows and stuff. And then in 2016, I realized it was real people.
Right. So that's when things really.
I didn't find out it was gang stalking in 2016. It
No.
wasn't 2018 that I found out it was even called gang stalking.
Right. I didn't know either. I started to look for things, information I could find about it in 2015.
A friend of mine told me what it was called. Her brother-in-law actually was victimized, made to watch him hurt me. He ended up dying, actually. But yeah, he told her what it was called so that I would know. Because I was losing, I thought I was losing my mind. I knew I wasn't crazy. And everyone kept telling me I was crazy, and I knew I wasn't. Like, I'm not crazy. Like, this isn't normal. This isn't normal, like, to have this going on.
Right. That's one of the big things for us.
People, it's hard.
Right. Yeah, same. I had family thinking that I was crazy, and people don't just go crazy, in their 20s and 30s. People don't just go crazy all of a sudden. And you're right. In the beginning, it's not even something that you're familiar with. You have to start looking for answers and information, and it was a while in before I figured out what remote neural monitoring and gang stalking. I had never heard of these things. And so when I started to search it, and also I couldn't really find very much accurate information, which is one of the reasons why I decided to come out with this stuff, because I was a victim of these things that I couldn't find anything about, and I knew that I wasn't crazy. I knew that I wasn't going crazy. I knew something was going on, and it was all adding up. When I would deal with these people, and everything was perfectly adding up. So what is it that it's got you wanting to tell everyone your story?
I wrote something January 25th, 2020, and I want to read it because it explains why I want to tell my story. A long time ago, a wise man once told me when I was ready that my story could change lives and I could become an inspirational speaker. His name was Pastor Chad Troop of the Kane First Church of God. He was right then, but my new story is a world of devastation, turmoil, the vial of filth that diseases this world, destroyed me, turning me into a person I never knew or ever wanted to know I could become. They call me their creation, and as for me, I call myself the monster they created. This story isn't all about me, though. Don't for one second think that I'm the only victim, because I'm not. What I'm about to discuss is our reality, the true horrors that us victims endure physically. This is my chance to tell our side of the story through the eyes and ears and heart of the gang stalked, the first original victim of a now 12-year endless torment still presently taking place here in King, PA.
You say that they created this monster.
They call me their creation, yes.
I can understand that because when this started for me, I was just a normal person, and 300 Facebook friends, coworkers, and high school people and family, and I didn't talk to strangers on the internet and know people all around the world. And the more that they do to me, the more that I'm doing to make it a public awareness campaign. And everything that they want to happen to us is beginning to happen to them. And they've created this monster, really. They really have. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
So when I used to, when I started out doing this, it was, at first, I had stumbled up on a way to record the telepathy by accident. And so I started posting a bunch of stuff about that, and then it kind of evolved into me talking about what was going on, and that was not on video. It was just on audio only. And then 5 years ago today, actually, I put out my first video on this channel. And
I know. Happy.
Thank you. I remember being very nervous, when I would talk, and I didn't know really how to approach the situation and talk about it, and I was nervous, and I was looking at myself in the camera, and it was a difficult thing to do. And I used to watch every video that I would do. I would watch it and then decide if I wanted to put it out or not. And I can't remember the last time I watched a video before I put it out. Now I just talk and I put it out there, and it gets easier. But I want you to know it's a big step. It's a big step to come out publicly and talk about these things, because of the public perception, and it's a risky thing because a lot of people.
They call me Crazy Emily.
Right.
Make my kids.
Well, I know you're not crazy.
All the time. Call me a meth head. That's their big one. I'm a meth head. I lost my mind.
Right. That's something that I get in the comments.
They're on it. They're the ones on it. They stay awake days
Exactly.
on end, and they lose their mind, and it's horrible. It's horrible. It's absolutely. And I found ones that do it. Like, it's real. It's real.
Right.
And it's bad. Like, people lost their minds on meth. They're allowed to fuck with us. I'm sorry. I don't know if I get that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I can beep that out.
Yeah.
So if you look through my comments all the time, that's the typical gang stalker statement. Get help, or get off the meth, or something like that. And I'll tell you, for real, a fact, 100% fact. Some of these people that are gang stalking me, that I knew already, that some of them that I've known for a long time, they are meth addicts, and some of them have been on meth for many, many years. And it's very typical for a gang stalker to try to say that we're needing psychological help, or that we're on some type of drugs or something like that. And in reality, they're the ones that are addicted to drugs, and they're the ones that have the mental things that they've never worked through, that they should probably seek psychological help. But
Yes.
they've got this technology, and they're using it to take the power back.
They do it. Like, it's just it's disgusting. It's sickening. And then there's like parents and doing it with their children, and families that just don't deserve their kids, and it's like grooming. They're grooming their children to be perverts. It's the way I see it.
Well,
To
we are
hurt people,
all
like torturing people is okay, is what kids are seeing. Like, I
right.
live in a really small town. Our population is, I know, but probably less than 5,000. It used to be 5,000, but it's probably less than 5,000.
Wow. Okay.
The little small hick town, but we live in the mountains.
I love the mountains.
Allegheny National Forest.
I love the mountains. I've probably got 5,000 people in my neighborhood. So yeah, it's my city is big. It's sprawled out, but there's a lot of people around here. And a lot of people move from up north and come here. And my family actually, from my mother's side, moved from up north, and my dad's side moved from up north. So New York and Ohio. So I'm the first generation of Southerners, I guess, the ones, my family that was born here in the South. How long has this been going on with you?
Since 2009.
That's a long time. So I have
looked back on my life with the things that I was hearing. Like, I found out in 2016 it was actually real people all that time that I was hearing these things. People discuss other people and the situations around me, and what I was doing and what was going on was all real. Like, I was really hearing them.
But prior to that, did you?
I did because I did a timeline, like backtracked my life.
Now, were you thinking that there was a problem in your mind and you were hearing voices prior to understanding that this is a broadcast with people, actual people?
I didn't understand what it was. Honestly, I didn't know what it was until 2018. I found out in 2016 real people were messing with me, but I didn't understand what they were doing to me. I knew I was being messed with, but I had no clue what to call it. I called it mind effing.
Right, which is what it is. They're experimenting. I mean, it's not anything official, but they're playing with our minds as if it's their personal entertainment.
Call me a game. I'm a game. We're a game.
Right. Well,
they play Yahtzee, roll the dice.
You know,
play board.
Think about them, okay? You live your life every day, and you do what you want to do, and they can make it difficult, and they can try to hinder everything that you're doing, and get in the way, and make it hard for you. But you can do what you want to do. You're not a mind control junkie, and you're not a drug addict, and you're not don't isolate yourself. But think of them, and they're sitting at home every day, all mind control. When's the last time you had a private day? Were they ever off of your channel?
No, it's 24/7 tournament.
Right.
24/7. It doesn't stop. They've never shut it off. They never shut it off, not ever. And they admitted it. They don't even know what to do.
They can do this in their sleep. Okay, when they're asleep, they're living as broadcast. But think of this: think how amazing you must be for them to be that infatuated with you, to stay on your mind, to stay on your channel all day, every day for that long. They've sacrificed 10-20% of their whole life.
Certain ones, like there's some 9-year ones, like certain 12-year ones that started it, obviously, but it's sick. And I tell them that all the time. Every morning I get up and I tell them, you're wasting your lives. Seriously, just leave me alone. Why do I again have to open my eyes and hear you? Why can't I wake up and there be silence for once? When your kids go to school, you're supposed to have silence. I haven't had silence because my children were 3 and 5 when it started. So that silence that a parent's supposed to get when you come home, when your kid goes to school, like both kids are in school, there's no fighting. I haven't had it yet because I've heard these assholes, these jerks.
I understand. I understand. Not a moment. Not, you know, there was one time about 4 years ago. There was one time, maybe 5 years ago, where I woke up and it took about maybe a minute and a half for the guy to get on, you know, and there was nobody on, and you know, and then he came on, and I was just about to cry before, you know, in that minute and a half, I was like, it's over with. Thank you, God, it's over with. But then he came on, and that's the only minute and a half I've had in like 6, 7 years. It's pretty wild. But it's not the same full-time person for me. The full-time people for me now, they're like 4 to 5 years. And back then, for the first year and something, it was some other people. But it was all of them. But you know how some of them are like come and go.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, but they take they call it shifts. They all have shifts. They work first, second, and third shifts. They call it their job as well.
Well, they do treat it like it's a
Some
job.
of them get off. They just don't ever get off. Those are the ones I found to be meth heads.
Right. This is
Keep me awake. They kept keeping me awake, and I knew who they were. And I went into their world, and I found them. Like, that's you. Oh, like, you are caught, dude. You are caught.
the problem is nobody wants to do anything about it because
No, I explained to my girls I have to go around other adults, or I'm never gonna catch anyone. And I did, and I caught a bunch of them, and that's how I found the meth heads.
right. Well, typically from what I've experienced, the ones who stay on full time that never get off, because I've had gang stalkers that just come on now and then they go away, and then maybe they'll come back and go away.
Yeah, I have them.
Right, and those are the ones that I think they're less addicted or less of an addictive personality. And so, but you're right. The ones that are the real drug addicts, the real meth heads, the real other drugs, they're addicts like for long-term periods.
They steal people's medications too.
Right. Those are the ones that also become addicted to the mind control. Because if you think about it, if you take some drugs, you're trying to achieve a mental state that you don't normally that you're not normally in, okay? And so
stealing.
If I connect to you, then I'm trying to feel like it feels to think like you, okay? So if I'm just some idiot and then you're a genius and I connect to you, I'm enlightened, I'm elevated, okay? And now I'm receiving all this thought process from you, okay? But that's something that I would not normally be capable of. So at that point, it becomes an addiction because they feel like they don't want to go back to the boring little mind of you know, non-creative, unimaginative dullness that is their self. Okay, so they love your mind, and now you're their drug of choice, and that's how it becomes. And that's why you get some that they like the way it feels to be connected to you, and they like the way that you think, and so they receive that in their mind, and it's almost like they thought it themselves, and they become blown away by that, and it's really hard to get rid of them.
Oh, I know, and then they blame it on me. They try to blame it on me.
Why is it your fault?
It's me. It's like if you just go away, like there wouldn't be a problem. Understand that? And they'll go around telling people, "Oh, it's me. It's me. I'm the problem." I'm the problem. Well, shut your shit off and just walk away.
Well, you probably haven't even started to be a problem just yet, but you might though.
No, I needed this. I need this. I need people to know. I need people aware. No one is taking me seriously. I've been to the cops hundreds of times. Hundreds of times I've talked to the cops. I've been to the DA. I've talked to the DA. I don't know what else. I talked to attorneys. I don't know what else to do. No one is taking me seriously, and then I have a cop admit it to me that I'm correct. But people are just going to do what they're going to do, and he's not going to do anything about it. That's just the way it's going to be.
Well, okay, let me tell you what's up. with
Say,
this.
well, I'm a nobody. I always have been. I always will be.
Well,
Like,
if you were a very wealthy, important person, then they might take some steps to make sure this isn't happening to you. But here's the thing, okay? I've also done the things you're talking about, and I've contacted the Department of Defense, the FBI, the CIA, the GBI, the local police. I've got at least 25 police reports unanswered. I've talked to a detective at my local department, and Detective Johnson at Clayton County Police Department, and he said this to me. Okay, he said, look, I want to help you out, but to be honest with you, there's no laws against this neural monitoring thing that you're talking about. So even if it is going on, there's nothing I can do about it. So, and I couldn't even get him to look at my evidence or anything else. And so I thought about that a lot, you know, and I understand that because there isn't any laws about this stuff. And according to the law and the authorities, basically this doesn't exist, and we've got a psychological problem going on. So, but if you think about it, okay, if they start to admit the existence of remote neural monitoring and artificial telepathy and gang stalking with a mind reading technology and this hive mind and mind control.
Like, I caught them.
Well, I understand, but do you realize the transformation that society would have to go through if this becomes like, yeah, okay, your thoughts aren't safe. People can read your mind.
Exactly.
Okay, now everybody's going to be.
I'll be the perfect girlfriend for you, and you can be the perfect boyfriend. Friend, you know, perfect girlfriend, because they do not like homosexuals, but yet they'll talk about a man. I don't get it.
Well, a lot of them
They're talking about
become
men,
homosexual.
Sexual. I'm sorry, you don't talk about men's penises just as a normal conversation. Do you, like, you're a man? Is that normal conversation?
Any conversations that I have with them aren't typically normal. You know, for one thing, they usually say stuff, and then I just think back to what I want to say back to them, and they get it, and then so it's really just them talking. And then when I think to them, sometimes it'll even mind control one of them, and they'll repeat what I'm saying.
You?
What's that?
Will they battle you back and forth? Like, I can use my thoughts, and I can battle with them.
Now we've been through a lot of phases over the years, so I mean, my understanding of how it works, it's ever evolving because, I mean, I have a really good understanding of how it works, how the mind control works, and how they can receive our thoughts, and I can even receive theirs. And it takes a while, though, with experience. You know, you can't explain this to someone. You can, but only to a certain extent, because you really have to have the experience and go through what we go through to start to, by the process of elimination, have an in-depth understanding of mind control and the hive mind and how everybody's connected and everybody's on this system. People in society have no idea. Most of them are on mind control, likely with some idiot that isn't all that nice.
If they choose not to, they can watch you and not make you hear.
Right. Yeah, I at first, for me,
headaches to start. And then I started hearing. I had migraines, these excruciating migraines that still have not gone away. Now I'm diagnosed with chronic migraines.
Well, I was having a headache this morning, and you may have seen the video I put out, but they had a high-pitched frequency turned on, and it was like resonating off of some natural sounds and stuff, and they do stuff like that, and and it can cause, you know, it just causes a lot of discomfort and misery. And it's like some of them want you to be miserable. It's like, oh no, like if I start liking the food I'm eating, or if I get happy about whatever reason, you know, they're like, oh no, like, and they're gonna start in with something to try to reverse that that euphoria. They don't want you to have that. They don't have it. Well, ain't no way. One of them said earlier, he was mad about the glasses that I'm about to get, and he's like, hey, you know, I had to go get me some. Ain't no way you're having some glasses without me having some because they're like, I think they're pretty cool if you've got to wear glasses.
And look, you're not going to get that. I'm going to go to the store and get all of it.
Yeah.
That happens, or they'll leave one. They'll leave one of the item left there.
Right. I used to actually race them for like, I would think of something, right? And I'll be like, okay, and then they're like, oh, you better hurry, you know, and it's like I would think, because I buy domain names and that have relevance to our situation, and I try to, because I feel like this subject is going to be at the forefront of topics of public discussion, and I feel like that it's going to be a big deal. So I'll think of something like mindcontrolrevolution.com or something like that, and it's like a race to GoDaddy or somewhere to buy the domain real quick, because I swear they're about to buy it and they act like they're going to. I don't think that they've actually done that too much with me, but it's a battle. Everything's a battle.
They physically mess with me really bad.
I understand that.
They've stolen so much from us. It's not even funny. Like, they're thieves, they're murderers, they're pigs. Like you said on your one video, the police, they're supposed to help, or I think it was you. They're supposed to help if child exploitation is at hand, like, right? Like child pornography.
Anything like that. You would think the police...
They violate my daughter. They didn't violate my daughter since they were 3 and 5 and made me here. And they wonder why I'm a mad woman.
Well,
But they mind hearing their children violated 12 years, and herself is going to be a devastated, upset person. I can't take it anymore. This has to stop. I can't hear another day. They're hogs. They're so gross. They're saying stuff about me and you. They want to see me and you do stuff. They made me feel dirty. I'm not doing anything wrong. They told me that they do it because you can't myself. We're not going to be this.
I can understand. I understand how you feel. That's how I feel just about every morning when I wake up. Every day when I wake up and I have to hear them.
Sorry, that was my own.
You okay?
Yeah. I just don't understand how people could do this. And then I found mothers and fathers. I don't understand. I don't get it. I didn't know this world was so disgusting. I found out how disgusting it was in 2016 when I realized this was real people. Yeah.
Right.
That's when I found out it was real people.
Okay, so we know what's going on. And we know about how much help we can get for this situation. So far, it's not looking like much. So, let me tell you where I'm at with things, okay? When I talked to that detective some years ago, and he told me, there's nothing illegal about it because there's no laws about it. And then I thought about it and how much it would change society and how laws are all going to have to change and we're going to go through this revolution. And the way that it's going to change society, I don't see the governments and the authorities rushing into a solution for this, I can see that they're probably going to try to hide this whole thing for as long as they can get away with.
For drug busts.
Well,
Yeah. And they don't have to get out of their cars. It's pretty bad. I had to tell the state police department that they were hacked, and I was right. Not even kidding. Like, come on now. I know we live in the mountains, but it's lack of oxygen. What's going on? I don't.
okay, so
And I say they thanked me. The one thanked me. He told me thank you. I was right. I ended up being right later. He told me thank you. I told him I was the one that told him that they were hacked, and he thanked me for it. I was right. Seriously, they take down all their satellite dishes and reset it up. Okay.
So, Emily, what do you want to do about this?
I wanted to stop. Like, I think that you need to start some kind of organization. Like,
I'm working on a lot of stuff.
you know things. Like,
Well,
I'm technically illiterate, so I'm screwed. I'm screwed in like, other than the fact that I've caught them physically and taken physical pictures of them because they told me I'm not allowed to record people. But yet, as they're telling me I'm not allowed to record people, they're being recorded.
right. Well,
Go.
we're being recorded every day, and they're live streaming everything.
Exactly, and anyone that comes near us is at risk.
Well, to be honest, everybody's on this neural monitoring. Every person, probably most animals, anything that's giving off an EMF signature that can be read.
Yes. Sorry, he gets angry. My cat Misty, I swear to God, he can hear it. He'll
Yeah.
like run to like from the direction I'm hearing it from, like, cause I'll hear it from like different directions inside of my house, and he'll run to like that very window, like where I'm hearing it from, like mad, like leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
he's just responded like he understands English 100% because he's had to hear it since he was. It scared him when he first heard it. He was just a kitten, and animals understand what humans are. Like, and he couldn't find the humans, and he didn't understand, and he just had to learn with, accept it. Like, animals hear.
Yeah.
And ears.
Yeah, and I'm sure that at least mammals give off a EMF signature that can be read by the same satellite system. Somebody contacted me earlier and was asking me about, their dogs. It's basically like their dogs were being, I guess, targeted. Somebody's targeting this
My mom
this
saw
lady
this
and her
house
dogs.
tremble in fear to it.
Right.
Like, it hurts their ears. And, like, when I would be messed with out back, my one house, like, one apartment I lived in, if they were out back, and I heard them out back, all the dogs would be going nuts back there. If I heard them on front of my house, all the dogs on that side of the street would be going nuts. Like, they could, it's like they could all hear the human beings wanting to know where they were.
Right. Well,
Their masters.
have you heard, like if a fire truck's coming up the road, you know how it lets off that frequency and dogs start, they do that when they hear that high-pitched siren.
Yeah.
These gang stalkers that I'm dealing with, they have something like that where they can put out a certain frequency and start causing these dogs to do that. Because I've got some people that live behind me with a bunch of dogs, and sometimes when I'm out there, they'll do that. They'll put out some kind of frequency that causes all them dogs to start doing that. It's like if I'm trying to make a video or something like that. They want to just kind of get in the way of that if they can. So, well, look, you're not tech savvy. So you're going to have to be a little bit tech savvy, and you're going to have to start learning a little bit about this kind of stuff. So a lot of the things that they do really revolve around hacking. They're not all hackers, but they're putting out these live streams every day, and they're into our phones, and they're into our computers, and they're on our networks. And
they've even hacked into government systems.
Right, they're into everything. They're into everything. But see, if they're not messing up anything, it's very difficult to know because you don't know to even look.
Medical records, they like to mess test results.
They can do just about anything they want to.
Oh, they can. I know. And it's like they watch, so they get a worker's password, and then they're able to use it and get into the system themselves later on as that person.
Right.
So I found that they did it like hurting me.
Then on every account that I have.
Tells what they're doing.
Every device, every account. I mean, I can't. You can't hide a password from them because even if you choose a browser suggested password that you don't know, they still can get it from being hacked into your computer. So, when the detective told me there was no laws against this, and I thought about all of the things about that, and I said, I got to approach this a different way. Okay, they're hacking my everything. They've been hacking my everything. They're running live streams in the background on my devices, on my networks, on my accounts, and all kinds of stuff, and layering stuff over videos, and you can find all of this stuff in source code and all kinds of HTTP requests in the background and in your devices and the logs and the DNS logs and the console logs. You can find all kinds of stuff, and that's the flaw of what they're doing, because those things are illegal. Okay, so I think that's the key. We have to learn as a community, targeted people, targeted individuals, victims of this technology, people that want to use this technology against us in a malicious way. That's how we can prove everything that's going on, and that's how we can start to catch them, is by learning the things that they're doing, like network protocol and computer programming, stuff like that. And when we look into the source code of an internet page, we can see what it says, but we understand it. Because I can look at it now. I can go digging around and find some fishy looking stuff. Half the time, it's just typical stuff that, and I'm like, look at this, and it's making us look crazy, like, because we don't know what we're talking about. But we have to learn this kind of stuff. And I think that's the main key to being able to start to prove that these things are going on and force a further investigation that'll lead into the rest of this stuff. Gang stalking, artificial telepathy, the live streams. They're making money off of this stuff. They're doing this to us.
I was showed by one of them. He showed me us recorded having sex in my second story bedroom. And it was recorded by that stuff. It was like they were standing at the foot of the bed.
Right.
That's how I found out it was real people.
So was that a real recording?
Real recording, yes.
So when you said us, you mean like the gang stalker that was saying it?
No, my ex-boyfriend is one of them, and he
I understand. I got you.
Had it. He showed me it. He showed me what they do. He showed me us recorded.
Did it look like cartoonish, or did it look very normal?
It looked normal.
Because
it looked like I could see you right now.
Right. So see, because I know for a fact that they do this one thing, okay, where you might have seen some of my older videos where I use like an EMF detector, and it's normal to be like 45 to 50, but sometimes it'll jump up to 200 or 300, 400, and then you turn it on, you're showing it on your video. Hey, look, the broadcast is on, and then they'll turn it off because they see that you're looking at it, so they'll turn it off. Okay, and people think, oh, that's, that must be the energy weapons and all this different. Well, what that is they've turned on a broadcast to where, say, off of like this screen right here, okay, if it's turned off, right, and they could put a broadcast on there and watch from that reflection, okay, and receive that back. So they're basically able to use broadcast as a camera, like a remote camera, a virtual remote camera. And that's when they have that broadcast turned on. That's what that means. And so that could be, what you saw. That's how they can have a video without a camera. That's what an EMF video is. If you have an EMF video,
text and make me hear.
What's that?
He was even able to text and make me hear it. He would mess with me. He thought it was funny.
Well, that might be the guy. That might be the guy that has possession of and control over your neural monitoring. So, I know who has possession of my neural monitoring, and I know that they're also on neural monitoring, but they have possession of their own, and they can control that.
I've talked to multiple ones. There's this one. She's a woman, and she's just been hell in my life for a long time for no reason.
Right.
But she can play the noise, the high pitched frequency, like the high pitched noise that will actually fix your ears, and you don't have to hear them anymore. Like, she played it walking down the street right in front of me knowing that she's one of my gang stalkers. And then her friend warned her to put her phone in the backpack. Like, I was going to come after her.
Well, don't do that. Don't do that, because there's a better way.
I beat up a guy, and then they tried to press charges against me. He was a pig nasty, and he deserved it.
Bout it. We get pushed to our limits all the time with it. That's what they do to me. They push, and I'm yelling sometimes, and I know the neighbors got to think I'm nuts, man. I know they got to think I'm nuts, but I'm going through some stuff, with all of this, and they push, and they know your limits, okay? And if you're just about ready to big bad wolf blow their house down, and then they might back off just a little bit then, and let you calm down just a little bit, because they know when they've pushed it beyond the limits. So because they're connected to you. So but they like to push you to that point because it's good for their live stream, for their EMF broadcast video. So that's the thing. But listen, if you were a master photo technician with all sorts of spectrum analysis softwares, and you could analyze stuff and just get the links of the broadcast, the advertisements right out of a photo, that'd be it for them, okay? If you were a network, if you could program, write a Python script to program your network protocols, security protocols for all your devices and everything like that, if you knew how to do that, they wouldn't be messing with you, and you'd have your neural monitoring. Okay, so these are the type of things, we have to learn about DNS. Somebody I know I was really close to that got neural monitoring, became a gang stalker. They started all of a sudden using OpenDNS and changing all their DNS, and they had a hosting package and a virtual Android on their iPad, and they had Android developers open up all the time in their phone. And I'm like, what is all of this? But you talk about 2009. That's when this started for you, and that's typically, some people will tell you they're targeted their whole life, and it could be that way, okay? But prior to about 2008, 2009, it was very difficult for an average person to do this kind of thing because we didn't have mobile internet.
Yeah, there's the... Someone has 25 years of military experience and knows how to do this.
Well, okay, yes, military people or something like that. But think about this. If you got to go online and access a device and be online to do all of these things, which is what they have to control the settings and everything that they're doing, they have to be able to access some internet to control all of this stuff. Prior to a mobile device like a cell phone, a smartphone, not a just a number dial phone with the internet or like text messaging from 2003 or something like that. That's not sufficient. So prior to mobile smartphones, you would have had to be on a desktop. Prior to that, you would have had to have access to some sort of military satellite broadcast station or something.
And he told me I caught what I caught. I found them. So there's definitely military drones in use on me, for sure. He admitted I caught what I caught. I'm right.
Well,
I told him not to lie to me. And so did people that hurt me.
well, I know you're going through a lot with all of this, and so am I. And a lot of the viewers that are going to see this, they're going through the same thing. And I think it's a good idea for all of us to come to a certain level of understanding about how this works and what's going on, and the actions that we can take together as a group to try to solve this and to take away what they do. Well, they have the National TI Day. I don't know a lot about it, so I have to look more into that.
Make your own day.
Well, there's already an official one, so I'm not that cool. But I mean, you know what I'm doing right now is actually starting Monday. I'm going back to school, and right. We talked about that. Thank you. And I want to start to dig into some real computer science type stuff, like network security protocol, forensic something. I don't know. I gotta really. I'm going for an orientation and talk to somebody about it on Monday. Is what I'm actually doing, and it's what's got to happen, and. It's bad news for these gang stalkers because I already know too much, and it's just going to make it even worse. And the more we know, knowledge is power. The more we know, the more of a threat we are to them. So don't isolate yourself. Don't become a stump sitting there doing nothing. Learn everything you can, and every ounce of misery that they dish out to you, turn that into motivation. Turn that into motivation because you've been doing this for 12 years. And like we talked before, and what I told you, I was saying, and I've been going through this 7-8 years, okay, and I probably should have already had this resolved because I knew kind of what was up, 4, 5, 6 years ago. But if you would have known 12 years ago that you could learn computer programming and network protocols and become an expert, you would already be an expert. You'd probably already be out of this situation. And same for me. If I would have started back in the day and took it very seriously, this wouldn't be a problem anymore. But we know now. We know how they're doing this. We know what's going on because we know we're hacked all the time. We know they're running live streams. There's enough of us that are going through the same thing that we can say unanimously, yeah, this is a fact and this is a fact. So we need to approach it in a way that we know we can solve it. And we know that the things that they're doing are illegal, laws that are being broken right now. And so that's what we have to attack. And so I think, we're going to keep in touch. And I think a lot of other people are probably going to be reaching out. And we're all going to band together and start learning the things that are going to help us get out of this situation. And everybody can play their part, and everybody can have a role, and we can all work together. And I think it's going to be beneficial, and we're going to help each other out. I think that's where we're headed with this. And they're going to want us to turn to the dark side, and we ain't going to do it. We're not going to do that. So, does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Okay, so I really appreciate you coming on, and I'm glad you did. And I'd love to have you back on if you would like to come back on. So, is there anything you'd like to say before we close it out?
Thank you. Thank you for giving me my sense of sanity. Well, at least knowing I'm sane.
You're welcome. I'm glad to help.
Crazy.
You're definitely not crazy.
I wrote something, but I don't want to read it right now.
You sure? You can if you want to.
Can I read it to you with not on there for right now?
Right, yeah, you can do that. You can do that for sure. So I appreciate all you guys watching. Okay, Emily Ackley from Kane, Pennsylvania. She's a targeted individual going through the same thing as the rest of us with remote neural monitoring. So we appreciate you coming on. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.